This can't be. There's never been a great white in these warm tropical waters before. Never. This is more than a coincidence. This shark appears to be possessed, as if it's hunting you down, like it's personal. You'd better prepare yourself and strike back before it's too late. Will you use the mini-sub, seaplane, sailboat, or just scuba gear? Perhaps it won't even matter. Remember, this is some kind of unbelievably powerful eating machine you're dealing with. Quick, grab your weapons, pack your explosives, and check your maps. It's out there. You know it, and it's coming for you. This is serious. This is the ultimate Jaws challenge because this time, it's not over until only one of you is left alive. That's right, folks. We're looking at Jaws for the NES by our good friends over at LJN. You remember them? They did Gotcha. Yeah, remember Gotcha? They did a couple other things too, but Gotcha was the most recent. Released in November of 1987, and oddly enough, based on the movie. Kind of. It's got a shark and a boat. And I think Richard Dreyfuss. So, welcome to Jaws from LJN. This game, not 5 out of 10. We'll just say that's what most people give it. A 5 out of 10. This... Alright, here's the thing, viewers. Jaws obviously was based on the film franchise for Jaws. However, it took most of its material, we can say, from Jaws: The Revenge, the 4th and final movie in the Jaws series. Bet you didn't know there was a 4th one. I didn't know there was a 4th one. I watched the first one, I watched the second one, I heard there was a 3rd one, and then I went and cried in the closet. It does take elements from the first movie, just a tad, but not much. And this is one of the few LJN published titles, oddly enough, developed by a Japanese company. It was developed by Westone Bit Entertainment and published by LJN. You know, the game itself is weird. And I'm going to tell you why. It's almost... You have a world map, a very small world map, in which you have random battles, random encounters, that take you to a vertically scrolling side view shoot 'em up. You got that? We take our boat and we sail all over these little group of islands, and once in a while we'll hit something. When we hit something, we go underwater, and we, as our little diver, have to battle various undersea threats like jellyfish, rays, and smaller sharks. One hit from any of these things, unless you're in the mini-sub, will kill you. Occasionally, Jaws will appear on the map, and its classic dorsal fin will be breaking the water's surface. If you happen to collide with Jaws and his almighty dorsal fin, you are taken into the same side view shooting segment where you get to fight Jaws, and you get to use your boat for just a little bit. Excuse me. And try and do as much damage as you can do to him with depth charges. Oddly enough, the game has a bit of a radius effect to your boat when you're on the world map. If you happen to get drawn into a random encounter and Jaws is nearby, he can show up briefly in your little random encounter. Enemies in this game drop items, which include crabs, which increase the movement speed of the diver, stars, which give you bonus points, which basically is on your way to an extra life at every 30,000 points, and conch shells, which are used as currency. Taking your conch shells, you can buy equipment and upgrades by going between the 2 different ports on the map. Going to the first one will give you a receiver, which is basically Jaws sonar, and it will beep and bling at you a bit when Jaws is getting closer. The faster it beeps, the closer Jaws gets. Future visits to the ports will increase your attack power against Jaws, though not against the other sea creatures, and dying will drop your power level by 1. If you do not have an extra power level, you will lose your tracking device and half of your conch shells, and it will completely restore Jaws' health. Killing a specific number of smaller sharks, according to this article, will trigger a bonus game. This is actually not true. The bonus game happens after every, usually, 2 side view scenarios. In the bonus game, our airplane, because we have one, travels back and forth in a side view, much like the shooting sections, and we bomb jellyfish with cannonballs. Yeah. And doing so will get us extra conch shells, which gets us more currency to buy more upgrades. Excuse me. The submarine, which we can find randomly along the world map, gives us a little better movement, a little stronger attack, a little quicker shots, and basically an extra hit. Once we have taken Jaws' health all the way down, we go into the final version of the game, which is a first-person view where we are on our boat. And this is where it gets a little weird again. We have to wait for Jaws to come very, very close to the boat. Flash a strobe light at him so he will breach from the water and stab him with our boat. Yes, and it's actually kind of tricky to make that happen because Jaws likes to move kind of randomly, and you need to keep him almost right in front of you, and the spacing from which you can stab him with your boat is a bit weird. But it can be done. This is a game I actually played quite a bit of as a kid. My uncle had it, and it was probably one of the more fun games we had. It's very, very short. If you didn't take a bunch of time to get all the upgrades and everything, you could have the game done in 10-15 minutes tops. It's, like I said, very, very short. Graphics aren't great. The music's... I think the music's alright. It's not a top-of-the-line game, but it's fun to just put in and play around with for a little while, I think. So I would say give it a chance if you could. If you would rather not, but would like to see it, I have a Let's Play of it over at the LowBiasGaming site.